So hey guys, welcome back. This is part 2 of our video.
Hey.
Had a little distraction there, so that's why we had to start up again. But so for 2005, like I said, this video is all about our top 10 favorite films of the past 10 years. And so for this part of the video, we're going to cover 2005, where Seth has Peter Jackson's King Kong for that year. I have Harry Potter 4: The Goblet of Fire for that year. And Josh, who's returning for part 2 of this video, has Star Wars Episode 3 for that year. So Seth, why don't you start us off with Peter Jackson's King Kong?
For me, thanks. I was gonna introduce that, dude. Come on. Anyways, yes, it was 2005's remake of King Kong. Peter Jackson did the remake, and the reason why I put King Kong is it was a classic tale that I always enjoyed and endured. Growing up, and I remember, watching another remake, which was in the 80s with Jeff Bridges and Jessica Lange, and I absolutely loved that film. I mean, I watched it every day, and it was funny because actually it wasn't, we didn't have the original like VHS. My dad ended up taping the movie that was, on TV, but it was funny because every time I'd always watch it, sit back, have like, a chocolate milkshake, whatever. But the idea was that I loved King Kong. I loved the story. I loved the tale between man, or not man and beast, but the Beauty and the Beast undertone. And I thought Peter Jackson did a wonderful job. Not just bringing the concept between Beauty and the Beast, but really exploring the different atmospheres that we've never seen. I mean, I know. It was great because I remember the original King Kong back in the day wasn't like it was made in the 30s. I want to say
30s was the original.
Awesome, at least I know that here. But back in those days, I mean, obviously that film, the special effects, holy crap! I mean, they did a wonderful job. But obviously, in 2005, the technology has come so far in cinema that we were able to see, a bigger landscape, more prehistoric creatures mixed in, and then on top of that, we see all these creature battles, King Kong versus, the T-Rex, or I think it was like the V-Rex or something like that, and then of course, we get, I think they definitely had a nice, I don't want to say over dramatized, the connection between, what was her name? I forget her name in the film. She's the blonde. She was supposed to be Beauty.
The one you're talking about, that's Naomi Watts.
No, but what was her character name, though?
I don't remember.
Man. All right, I'm sorry, that's so bad. But anyways, yeah, I thought they did definitely establish that great chemistry between Beauty and Beast. And of course, in the end, I felt that it wasn't overextended when he was on top of the tower, when he's battling the planes and like that. But it was a great remake, and I absolutely enjoyed it, especially a movie that I enjoyed as a kid. So, but yeah, Peter Jackson's King Kong.
And Josh's favorite film of that year, like we said before, was Star Wars Episode 3. Want to share why that's your favorite film of that year?
Yeah, when they I watched the old versions of the Star Wars when I was a little kid all the time, and the third film was really cool because they had the pod races and Anakin won, so that was really cool. And then Anakin turned into Darth Vader, which is interesting. So care to elaborate?
He wants to know if you liked anything about Star Wars 3.
Not really.
I thought it was great. I mean, it was definitely one of the better prequels. I thought it was like...
Actually, I kind of like Episode 1 better, Phantom Menace, if anything.
Okay. But anyway, like I thought it was a very... Because for me, 1 and 2 didn't really have a lot of emotion. And I thought the third one had a lot of emotions in it. I thought it was
But it was over-dramatized, and I think it almost kind of lost the concept. Especially, I remember when Episode 2, when they had like Yoda jump around. I mean, Yoda... They missed the concept of Yoda.
Well, keep in mind, he was much younger when the prequels happened, so of course he's going to be able to move around better.
Well, I mean, it's just the idea that he's jumping from place to place. But I think instead of me diving into it because I don't want to take up any more minutes than I have to. But there's a great link on YouTube where actually it tells you why the remake of Episode 1, 2, and 3 are so awful. And he kind of narrates this video in kind of like in a dumbed down voice, but it's a very smart, intelligent, way why Episode 1, 2, and 3 are horrible.
Look for Episode 6 in 2014.
Episode 7.
7.
Yep. And then my favorite film of that year was Harry Potter 4: The Goblet of Fire. I thought it was just a very good continuation of the Harry Potter franchise. One part of 4 I thought was very interesting. This happened in the book also. Was it also showed what kind of Harry, Ron, and Hermione's romantic lives were? Because in 1 through 3 they didn't cover any of that, and in number 4 they started to cover that. I thought the tournament battles were great. I thought the tournament events were awesome. Like when he was underwater with the gillyweed and fighting off the dragons, and he had the maze, the grass maze going on. So just a very terrific sequel. For 2006, both Josh and I have Rocky Balboa, and Seth has 007 Casino Royale. So Josh, do you want to start us off with why you thought Rocky Balboa was your favorite film of that year?
I thought it was a good film because Rocky was back, and I watched all of the Rocky films previous to that, so I was very excited for that one to come out.
What are you doing?
And
I lost
my train of thought here.
Sneaky and so quiet.
Go ahead, man. It's all right.
And I thought it was a great film overall.
Yeah, I thought Rocky Balboa, it definitely brought back the Rocky magic, and it definitely.
One thing I kind of liked about Rocky Balboa, it was definitely a paid tribute to the first one. Remember, how, I think everybody always kind of mixes up, when you see Rocky, it's like, oh yeah, Rocky won. And the first one was like, no, he won the second one. He lost in the first one. It was the idea that this, local fighter, who basically comes out of nowhere. He's a nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody the title. I shot for the title because that's the American dream.
But also, keep in mind,
basically, it just paid. Anyways, I want to finish my point, but basically, it just paid homage because where he came out of retirement, everybody knew who he was, but he's old, he's washed up, nobody thought he could fight anymore. And of course, he goes through his vigorous workout routines, and at the end, that doesn't necessarily. Actually, no, he loses the belt. He loses the belt under a split decision, but it was the idea that doesn't matter, how old he was, but the idea that he was still Rocky, he would still be able to, at least try to get to the top, even though he didn't win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think the film definitely it's the reoccurring theme from the first film of, and actually Stallone said this about the original Rocky too. Even if you didn't win at something, are you at least happy with yourself as to how you got there, how you managed to even be invited for such an event, how you you're proud of your own accomplishments. And I think Rocky Balboa definitely reestablished that theme from the first film. So, Seth, you had 007 Casino Royale. Do you want to establish why you thought that was the best film of 2006?
I thought this was a great reboot to the 007 franchise, Fleming's franchise. Casino Royale, like I say, it was a great reboot I thought the franchise was kind of dying after several films with Pierce Brosnan. For me, I loved, in regards to his films, I loved GoldenEye, and I think that was really the only one I really enjoyed because I thought it was original, it was fun. But I got that same feeling when, after 4 films, or how many did Pierce Brosnan have?
I think he had 4.
He had 4, yeah. GoldenEye 3 after that, but I think when Die Another Day had come out, I know Tom loves that film. For me, I thought it was just
Halle Berry for the win.
I'm
gonna say Halle Berry for the win. Would you agree, Josh?
Yes.
Halle Berry for the win.
Oh,
all right, she looked good.
Halle Berry.
She's got a great body.
Okay,
She's
you
Halle
can at
Berry.
least say, "Oh man, this movie's bad. This movie's bad," and Halle Berry says, "Okay, this movie's good again."
No.
Oh man, that's my favorite movie.
Anyways, I thought this was a great reboot, especially
when they're in bed, like, "Oh yeah,
it was a
Oscar-winning
clean-
performance right there."
It was a clean slate to a franchise I thought was dying, and it was an interesting take to the James Bond character because we're always used to having him brunette, and we kind of got this almost kind of like a dirty blonde haircut, And it was funny because I remember, like, before it came out, I remember when he was, freaking out. It's like, no, you have to have,
Yeah, because he was
Daniel
Daniel Craig's
Bond,
the
he
first.
has
He's
to
the
have
first
black
Russian.
hair,
He's the first Russian Bond.
he has to have,
So-
black hair. And he's not, English.
Yeah, he's not British.
Or,
He's the first non-British
British,
Bond.
yeah, exactly. So people were just
Daniel
irate
Craig's
over
not
that.
British?
Nope, he's Russian.
No,
Really?
no.
That's why he has blonde hair and the blue eyes. He's Russian.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. But I thought the level of intensity, the action, the storylines, the Bond girl, the relationship of Bond and this girl,
Eva Green.
Eva Green, yes. Yeah, I thought the chemistry was great, and obviously, just the emotions that fly in the film, and it was just, for me, it was a great film. It was a great way to reboot the franchise. Unfortunately, the next year, it's a different story. But I thought Casino Royale laid the foundations, knowing that you can, teach an old dog new tricks.
So, guys, we're going to cut it off here. We're going to return for part 3, where we're going to talk about our favorite films in 2007.
See ya.